Not too long ago, the trailer for the new Amazing Digital Circus episode came out, and I was super excited because I want to see episode 3. And I was like, oh man, this will be so fun to watch, maybe I can make a video out of it, and then I realized something. I never did a video for episode 2. I don't know why, I think maybe I just forgot. I mean, I did one for episode 1 a long time ago, but I just somehow forgot to make one for episode 2. So here I am making a very belated video of Digital Circus episode 2. Since it's been a little while since the episode originally came out, I'll just be going over the plot and summarizing it to refresh everyone's memory. Pomni has a nightmare about her being abstracted. After she wakes up, she and Ragatha have a little talk, and Ragatha says that it's all forgiven, and she isn't mad at Pomni for Pomni ditching her in episode 1. Later, Kane announces their new adventure where they have to retrieve the maple syrup from some bandits who stole it. So after they go to their little adventure, they find the bandits and are chasing them. However, Pomni and one of the bandits, named Gummy Goo, accidentally glitch out of the map. Gummy Goo has an existential crisis whenever he realizes that he's just an NPC in this game. Pomni comforts him, and it was just a really sweet scene between them. I really liked this one. She and Gummy Goo devise a plan to get out from under the map. Meanwhile, the rest of the cast meets up with this thing called the Fudge, which I know some people had complaints about the Fudge and how similar he is to the Glint Queen, which I didn't really like the Glint Queen, but I love the Fudge. His animation, his voice, just the way he acts, I like it. I can see why people find him similar to the Glint Queen, especially with the whole plot of Pomni getting separated from the group and the rest of the group meeting up with some monster, but I just like it. I don't mind it. They all reunite and they're going to bring the maple syrup back, but Gummy Goo is coming with them. They all accomplish their goal by getting the maple syrup to the queen, but Jax does let the Fudge in before leaving. Kane sees Gummy Goo and just pops him out of existence. Pomni is about to have a mental breakdown for good reason whenever Zooble comes over. And if any of you remember from my first review, I said I didn't like Zooble. Even though Zooble doesn't have much screen time in this episode, much like the last one, I did like them much better in this episode. I think it's just the way they act about Kaufmo and stuff. It's nice to see that side of Zooble that we haven't really seen before, and I liked it. And from trailers of the new episode, it seems like we're gonna get more Zooble screen time, and I am actually excited, so I want to see more of Zooble. But anyway, there's a montage of Kaufmo's funeral, and Pomni realizes that if something happens to her, these people are here for her. First thing I want to address about this episode is Jax. I know a lot of fans were mad about the way Jax was acting because he was so much meaner in this episode than the first one, but I still like him. I know whenever I first watched the episode when it premiered, I was kind of shocked with the way Jax was acting, but I do remember that Gooseworks said that he was going to get a lot worse, and he did. But he's not all that bad still, especially that one expression he gives at Kaufmo's funeral. He doesn't participate, but before it starts, you can see his face, and there's just something in his eyes and in his expression that shows that he's a bit upset. I know a lot of people say this, and I believe it is true, that Jax just makes everyone miserable because it's his way of coping with the circus, which would make a lot of sense. But yeah, I still like Jax. I would like to see him improve a bit. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it would be nice. But if he doesn't, I still understand. Next up is Ragatha and Pomni. I believe some people were complaining about how, Ragatha's too forgiving of Pomni. And while some drama would be nice, it's kind of what makes the story go on through just drama between the characters and exchanges between the characters. But I see why Ragatha would forgive Pomni, especially with the conversations she and Kinger have later in the episode, where Kinger's telling Ragatha how, it took you a while to get adjusted to the circus too. Ragatha is basically just trying to help Pomni get through everything because she knows how she feels. I think I might have said this in my last video, and I'll say it again. She's kind of like the mom of the group. Amazing Digital Circus does rely on the characters because it's a character-driven story, and the interactions from the characters are thus the best part of the story. And I really like the character reactions throughout this episode. I do want to see more of Kinger because of how much I liked him in the second episode. And from the third episode teaser, it looks like it's going to be about him and Pomni, which is very exciting to me. I can't wait to see it. I would have liked to see Gangle with her happy mask just for a little bit longer, but it's alright. Maybe we'll see her a little bit more like that in the next episode. And just a little thing that I wanted to throw in here, the Queen character, oh my goodness, her design is so amazing. You cannot make a character's design that good and only have them for one episode. I want to see more of her. I doubt we will ever see more of her, but I really want to. One thing I complained about in my last video was the horror elements of the Amazing Digital Circus. I said I'm a very easily scared person, which I am, and it just didn't really scare me a whole lot. I don't think that the horror elements are really trying to scare you. I think they're just trying to give you dread, like Pomni's nightmare or whenever Gummy Goo sees himself. I think it's just trying to give you a sense of dread, which it did, and I definitely think that this episode does a much better job at the psychological horror elements than the last one. The next one literally takes place in a haunted mansion though, and I love haunted mansions even if I am easily scared, so that is yet another reason why I am excited for it. But these all have just been my thoughts, and I'd like to hear yours below. I know this is a very late review, and everybody is probably just not talking about the second episode anymore, but I figured I might as well with the third episode teaser coming out. Maybe I'll go over that next week if you all would be interested in that, but for now, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next week. Goodbye!